Hello and welcome to Nerd Subculture. I'm your host Jared.
And I'm Edwina.
And this is our Once More With Feeling series on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Today we're doing Season 5, Episode 4, Out of Mind.
My mind.
I was thinking out of mind, out of sight there.
Oh, it's out of my mind.
This episode first aired October 17th, 2000. That is actually October 17th today while we're recording this. That's kind of weird. 22 years ago.
Oh, don't say that.
I didn't say that. I'll cut that out. It was written by Rebecca Rand Krishna and directed by David Grossman, Eddie. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. This is a full spoiler podcast. I'm a huge fan, but Jared has never watched the series all the way through, and I'm trying to convince him it's worth his time.
And was it worth your time, Eddie? Is this a skipper one, or what? I mean, what was it like rewatching this for you? Is this?
As I said, I'm not a huge fan of season 5, and
and you're not a huge fan of Riley.
I'm not a huge fan of Riley, and this is a Riley-centric episode.
So that's a no.
I think this just goes. You know what? It does have some redeeming qualities. This episode, with Harmony and Spike.
Oh yeah, at least we get them back together.
Yeah, so that's the only redeeming. Oh, you also get Graham. I love seeing Graham again.
Okay, yeah.
Riley's friend from the Initiative.
Yeah.
I was
Tin Man.
Graham was nice. He was always, I don't know. He was like the good friend, and Forrest was like the dickhead.
Yeah, but just the no emotion guy.
He normally has a little bit of emotion.
Does he? Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't a no emotion person. Yeah. To be honest, this episode's just kind of meh.
Yeah.
I don't really skip it. I kind of forget it.
Forgettable.
exists.
Not skippable, but forgettable.
It's just a very forgettable episode, and it's one that's, it's part of season 5, sort of meandering. We're just sort of waiting for the action to start happening, but we've just got to get this Riley stuff out of the way first.
Yeah. Kind of felt like we've backtracked a little bit. So I felt like we already did this already with him and the drugs and all that stuff, messing him up. So I thought we were past this.
Why would you say that?
Because, I don't know, I thought we were. Didn't they do something at the Initiative when they took something out of him? Or?
Well, there was a lot of stuff that was done to him that he probably doesn't know about, and this is probably a side effect that they didn't know about.
Yeah, I guess.
It's a side effect of whatever drugs they were giving them, but they didn't know it was going to be a side effect because there was no one. They were the test subjects. They were the test subjects.
So, they were the guinea pigs.
So this is the consequences of the Initiative's actions, or what do you call it when they didn't have anyone? There was no oversight.
Yeah.
So this is the consequences of having no oversight. So, and those practices are put in place for a reason.
To protect people and make sure that
and you do
cardiac arrests and stuff like that.
Well, you test on animals and lab rats, and
that's cruel. Test on humans first.
They just went straight to testing on humans. So.
Yeah.
And you don't know what he's been injected with. So he had that implant as well in him.
Yeah, they took the implant. That's why I thought that was done.
Yeah, so he might have just ripped the implant out, but there's still the side effects from all the drugs that he was taking. But let's get into let's do the synopsis and then we'll get into talking about the episode.
Let's do a quick synopsis and we'll get back into it. All right. At a cemetery, Buffy stalks her vampire prey, killing several new vampires with unwanted help from both Riley and Spike. At the magic shop, Buffy is tackled to the ground by Riley as Xander and Giles try to surprise her with the transformation of the back room into an amazing training space. Meanwhile, Harmony seeks Spike and his help because she is frightened that Buffy is out to destroy her. The next day, Joyce collapses while making breakfast for Dawn. At the hospital, an intern, Ben, informs Buffy and Riley that Joyce will be fine, but the doctors are not sure what caused her to faint. Dawn is playing with a stethoscope, and when she listens to Riley's heart, she finds that it is racing much faster than normal. A doctor recommends that he stay in the hospital as he has a high risk of having a heart attack, but Riley disregards their concerns. Buffy tries to think of a way to help Riley and finally resolves to go to Riley's place and contact the initiative via the bug on his phone. Still part of the government, Riley's old friend Graham tries to force him to see a doctor, but Riley gets away. After speaking with Graham later that day, Buffy takes it upon herself to get Riley to a doctor before he dies. Buffy gives Spike information about the doctor, hoping that it will help her get Riley to him. Instead, Spike and Harmony kidnap the doctor in order to force him to remove Spike's chip. Buffy finds Riley in Initiative Caves, punching into rocks because he cannot feel any pain. He tells her that he is afraid he will be not enough for her once he lets the doctors operate on him. After convincing Riley to get medical attention, Buffy brings him to the hospital only to find that Spike has kidnapped the doctor. Just after the doctor finishes sewing up Spike's skull, Buffy arrives with Riley and a fight ensues. As he tries to bite the Slayer, Spike finds that the doctor only pretended to remove the chip from his head. Spike escapes with Harmony, ranting in disgust. The doctor is able to operate successfully on Riley. Spike wakes up from the nightmare, in which he passionately kisses Buffy and professes his love to her. The end. That was a funny way to end an episode, I do have to say.
Yes, yes. And we will talk about that more. But
all right. Well,
I think first up, I've just got to talk about Riley in this episode.
Okay, so this is Eddie's new segment, Riley Rant.
Yeah, so this is my Riley rant this week. And as I said in the last episode, Riley just gets worse and worse from here. Like, he doesn't get any better from this episode on, by the way. He's just going to keep getting worse and worse. And pretty much he actually confirmed what I said last week about him wanting what her and Angel had. He actually brings up Angel.
Yeah.
And he wants that codependence. That's what he wants from her. And you see that his whole world now revolves around Buffy. And he is trying to squeeze into her life in these places that she doesn't really want him there. And he's kind of like, you see, like...
kind of smothering her a little bit.
Yeah, so you see him, like, he's interrupting her slayer, like her slaying time. Mm-hmm. And that scene is... she's almost hunting, like she's up on the top of the mausoleum. Mm-hmm. She's like actually almost in like a stalking kind of cat.
Yeah. Ready to pounce.
And then she pounces and then like stakes a vamp before it's even out of the ground. Like
efficient.
That's how you know how good she is now. You know how she has been honing her slayer skills. So she's getting more and more powerful. And you can notice it. And even Willow is noticing it. And he is noticing it as well. And he is jealous of it because she's getting more powerful.
He's feeling very emasculated.
And he keeps trying to interrupt her studies and her training. And he's trying to be part of it. And she just kind of doesn't want him there. It's sort of like you kind of want it. You can sort of see that she kind of wants to say to him, you know, can you go get a hobby or something? Because even when, like, he kind of ruins that moment with Xander and Giles when they go to show her the training room.
And he jumps her.
Yeah, he jumps her.
That was really weird, wasn't it?
Yes.
Like, you jump out and go, surprise, not jump her and throw her to the ground.
Yeah, he literally attacks her. And then he's like, come on, let's give this a try out. And she's like, no. You know, go and bet you can't take me. He's doing that, take me, you know, fight me.
Yeah.
I want to prove how much a man I am. And also in the hospital, like he kind of gets a bit weirded out when she wants to actually go check on her mum. And that's why they were there at the hospital in the first place.
Did he?
Yeah, he kind of does this sort of disappointed look when she's like, I'm just going to go check on my mum. I'll be back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, after he's had the surgery.
Oh, you mean the first time he went there?
No, the second, like this is at the end.
Oh, okay. Well, she wasn't in the hospital anymore. I thought they discharged her.
No, well, she wanted to go home to check on her mum.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what I was... Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Can I say something?
What? No, you cannot say anything. Hang on.
Fuck.
Okay, and I will talk about that. There is that scene in the cave where they have the big talk and the big dramatic, almost like the Angel dramatic scene that they used to have when Angel was around, but this time with Riley. And he's very, like, you can tell he's very, very insecure with his relationship with Buffy. And again, he tells her that he loves her. And this is the one time that she actually really needed to tell him that she loved him.
Yes. And what did she say?
She didn't say anything. She said, I'm going to drag you to the doctor. And it actually probably would have been a game changer if she had have actually at this point said, I love you. Stop being an idiot.
Yeah.
Like it probably would have changed things.
It would have helped. I think it was inevitable that they were going to break up, but maybe just would have prolonged it a little longer. They seem like they're doomed. I don't think that would have just fixed everything if she said that. All the other stuff's still there.
I think he needs to hear it.
Yeah, he does need to hear it.
You know what? If she had have said I love you, and if he had have gotten a fucking hobby or something. Something other, like just not revolving his entire life around her, like having something else.
Yeah, I mean, but all the other issues are still there, though. I mean, him being emasculated by her, that doesn't change, and that is a core thing.
That's something that he could. It is that thing that he could get
possibly, but it seemed like
get used to it. Like
maybe
he would learn to get over it eventually.
Yeah, he just had to accept the fact that she's a superhuman being and he's not.
Yeah.
But it just seemed like he was,
and that she doesn't need that either.
Yeah, but it just seemed like he knows that already and still wants to take her on one-on-one. So,
but that's his insecurity.
Yeah,
that he is constantly putting onto her. But I do think if she had have just said, I love you back. Just this one time,
Yeah, she could have.
It would have made a massive difference. And again, she doesn't. So I think this is actually the third time he said it, and she hasn't said it back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the other two times, that was sort of. He said it sort of more as a statement, not as a pledge, I suppose.
Yeah.
Like it was more that, I'm going this crazy because I'm so in love with you.
No, it's because I'm so in love with you.
Like, and I love every part of you. Like it's almost, yeah.
I like that.
But if she had just on one of those occasions just sort of said to him, I love you too, it might have just made him a little less insecure.
Yeah, maybe.
A little less. He's a little hung up on Angel as well.
But so, I guess we'll never know.
Yes. But again, Buffy doesn't want to say it.
That's her thing. I made my comment on the previous episode that when someone says it to you, you say it back, even if you don't mean it.
Yeah. But this was one of those occasions where saying it would probably have saved his life.
Yeah.
Just say you love him so that you can get him to the hospital.
Yes, I love you. Let's get the fuck out of here and go to hospital, all right?
Yes. Just say, I love you even if you're going to be Joe Normal.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, we need to get you to the hospital, like right now. Or as the doctor had said, I'm not sure if he came in yesterday, it would be soon enough.
Yeah. Yeah, he was already late. So, yeah.
Anyway, that's my Riley rant.
Riley rant.
My Riley rant's over. I'm sure I'll have another Riley rant next week.
I need like an intro for it or something.
Riley rant.
Can I say something?
Okay, what did you want to say?
I just wanted to comment on the vampires she killed at the start, and they're always wearing tuxedos. I'm like, oh, okay, that's right. They probably are wearing tuxedos. I thought it was weird at first. I thought maybe they were just businessmen. But yeah, most people are buried in tuxedos. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
They get buried in formal wear.
Yeah, formal wear.
Yes.
I just jerried on that the other day. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that's probably why. Because
Yeah. You'd get married in perhaps the suit you got married in.
Yeah. Or you died. No.
Sorry, you get buried in the suit that you.
Yep, got married in. Yeah.
That you got married in. Yeah.
You can fit in it.
All right. I think last week you said we should probably talk about the names of the episodes and what they relate to within the episode.
Yeah, I've said that before. We've missed a few opportunities and...
Yeah. So this one's called Out of My Mind.
Okay, I can back up this one because there's several things going on here that are out of my mind.
Yes, there's lots of things.
So we can start with Spike, who needed the literal chip out of his mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
But also Buffy is on his mind.
And Buffy is in his mind and he can't get her out of his mind. Yeah, he says that too. I can't get her out of my mind.
Yes.
So that's two things with Spike. And then, of course, Riley's obsession can't get her out of her mind as well.
Yeah. And he's going out of his mind.
And he's going out of his mind thinking about it. Yeah.
Yeah. And you have Joyce. We don't quite understand what's happening with her yet. I think we find out in the next episode.
Oh. I think I know what's happening. But
but there's something happening with her mind. And in this episode, it's kind of hinted at that it has something to do with Dawn.
All right. So you brought up Dawn.
Yes.
So we're into episode 4
of
the season. Mm-hmm. And I could just imagine what it'd be for a viewer watching this for the first time, still wondering who the fuck is Dawn.
Yeah. Well, they do have that little scene with Joyce before she collapses. She does look at Dawn and she's like, who are you?
Yeah.
So you have this, so you can kind of see something's not quite right.
So are you still at this point thinking they've just inserted a character, or are you thinking they're doing something?
No, I think by now I was like, oh yeah, they're doing a bit. I think it had kind of clicked at this point that they're doing something similar to what happened with Superstar.
Yeah.
Probably way before this.
Oh yeah. Well, there's only 4 episodes
probably after the first episode.
Yeah.
With the crazy guy. The moment you see the crazy guy, you're like, oh, okay, I'm not going crazy. The show's not gaslighting me into making me think that she's been here the whole time.
Are you trying to look at your old copies on VHS going, did I miss an episode? Are you rewatching them again going, did I mention Dawn? What the hell is this girl?
I couldn't. I watched it live on air.
Oh yeah. I thought maybe you only recorded like last week's episode, so you kept... Is that the trick you did or something? Or you just recorded over it again?
I don't think I even recorded them.
Oh, okay. Ugh.
I think I'd record it if I wasn't home. I lived with housemates. Well, it was when I was living with housemates. So if they came in and there'd be channel changes occurring. Yeah, so you said Riley's going out of his mind at the possibility of losing Buffy if he has his little operation and becomes Joe Normal.
Yeah.
There's quite a bit of duality in this episode with lots of different sides of things fighting each other. So you sort of have Slayer Buffy and Buffy again.
Do you?
Yeah. You've got souped up Riley versus Joe Normal Riley. You've got chipped Spike versus unchipped Spike. Spike who hates Buffy. Spike who is actually in love with Buffy. Yeah. That
got me, that ending.
Yeah. You thought it was real.
Yeah, I that completely got me. They've kissed a few times already in this show.
Yeah. So should we talk about Spike's infatuation with Buffy?
Yeah. Why not? This is the Buffy the Vampire Slayer podcast, so I suppose you can. So,
well, there's sort of this bookend in this episode of it. It starts with him saying, I will make your, he's like, I'll drink your blood, Slayer. He's doing that pontificating to himself. And as he walks off, he falls into it.
I was waiting for that. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I just knew something.
Yeah.
They're going to do something funny.
It ends with him falling into a grave. So... bit of a metaphor for the way that he's falling for Buffy.
Okay, yeah.
And then it the episode ends with him realizing that he is actually in love with Buffy.
God.
And that dream. Yes.
It's hilarious.
Yes. And to be honest, I think he's been in love with her.
From the start?
From the moment he came onto the show. So from School Hard.
Yeah.
Everything he said to her had like sort of this mixture of sex and violence. Like everything. Yeah.
He's always quite flirty with her, isn't he?
Yes. And he does have that association with sex and violence with passion for him. Like that's how he associates love, are those elements. So, yeah. And he does mention her shampoo commercial hair as well in this.
You got pretty hair.
Yeah. So do you think he I honestly think he was in love with her from that scene where he...
Well, you said that the actor played it as if he was in love with her.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that's possibly what they were going for from the start, is that he fell in love with her, love at first sight, maybe almost.
Or is it just infatuation and obsession?
I don't know.
Which is also a theme on this TV show, is the difference between love and obsession.
Yeah, I mean, there's a fine line sometimes, isn't there? I mean, you don't really know which one's which, if you're in love or you're obsessed.
Yeah.
So, yes, no, maybe. I don't know. Can you repeat the question?
No. All right. Now, the Scoobs aren't really in this episode very much, but there is some things I do want to note.
Well, how about Willow is too cool for a torch?
Yes. So again, this is sort of Willow's abuse of magic again. And even Tara is starting to get a little concerned.
Yeah, it's like you could have just brought a torch. Oh, no, we can use a magic spell and,
Yeah.
Yeah, but a torch is like much safer.
Yeah, and also magic has consequences.
Yeah. Like bringing a gas lantern or something, I mean, there's a reason why people don't use those anymore, because they're really fucking dangerous.
Yes. So, but yeah, you can see that Tara's getting a little concerned by...
Yeah, she definitely looked concerned. I noticed that, yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing is, I think in this episode you actually see Xander has finally found his kind of place within the Scoobies as the carpenter.
He's looking pretty comfy with the circular saw there. He's like got the pencil in the ear, and he's like sawing it off. Yeah,
had blueprints. He was
like, oh, okay, you are handy. Something.
Yeah. So he's going to become very, very handy because of how much stuff gets broken. He'll be the fix-it man. And he's building shelves and bookcases for Giles in the magic shop.
I'm sure there's going to be lots of repair work to be done in that magic shop in the foreseeable future.
Yes.
Lots of shelves getting broken.
Lots of shelves getting broken.
Glass doors on the cabinets getting smashed.
Yes. Lots of people being thrown into things.
Yeah.
And Xander also, he attempts to tell Buffy about how Riley's feeling, but he does it in a really, really stupid and confusing way. So that no one knows what he's talking about.
So what does he say? Here it is. I'll play it now.
Maybe he just needs some time alone. Like, I had this friend once who really liked this girl, and he got all worried that maybe she didn't like him back. And maybe that made him act like a total jerk. Maybe Riley reminds me of that friend.
Actually, I thought he was talking about himself, because you said a friend of mine.
Yes.
I thought he was talking about himself.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's very, very confusing.
Ah, right. Okay.
Because Buffy also thinks that he's talking about himself. Anya thinks that he's talking about himself, because it's sort of like he doesn't have any male friends.
Giles? He's talking about Giles?
He literally has no male friends.
Yeah.
Other than, well, I think he's had one male friend in the whole show, which was Jesse, and he died in the first episode.
Might have a work friend or something on the work site, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll just never
go with that. Yeah.
Never see any of his friends. They don't have any other friends.
I'm sure they exist in the universe.
Sure.
Guy sits and has lunch with him and talk about stuff.
Talk about football.
Football, yeah.
Yes. I will mention, do note that Doctor, the intern Dr. Ben, he will play a major role in the rest of the series.
I thought it weird you wrote his name in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Ben plays a big part in the season arc.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yes.
I thought he seemed, I don't know, he introduced himself. Hi, I'm Ben, the intern.
Yes. Yeah.
Whatever, you know.
So he'll become maybe a potential new
love interest?
Yeah.
Oh.
Possibly.
Oh.
And why, Jared? Why? The return of Harmony.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So the best part of this episode is Harmony.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So actually, I'll just talk about the best parts of this episode.
Yeah. So it was Harmony.
Because I do find this episode a bit of a snore fest, except for the fact that Harmony makes a return. And Harmony and Spike together are just hilarious. Yes.
They work. They play off each other quite well. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's an absolute joy to watch in this episode. And I will say Graham. It's good to see Graham back. I do like Graham.
Yeah.
So, and hopefully he'll make another appearance.
Oh, hopefully, maybe.
And maybe take Soldier Boy away. Look, I don't really have much more to say on this episode.
Well, look, there's no point.
Do you have anything you want
Well, that conversation that Graham had with Riley at the end, basically
outlining
that you're here for nothing. There's nothing for you here.
Yes.
So,
he kind of has a point.
Yeah.
He says you used to have a mission and now you're just the mission's boyfriend.
Yeah.
And that's what I said. Like, he needs a hobby. He needs to find something outside of Buffy to do.
Get back to lecturing, tutor or something, or was that just all? But he wasn't actually doing that.
I don't know. Yeah, he was a TA.
Yeah,
teaching assistant. Maybe it's just a cover.
I
wasn't actually qualified. No, he would have had to have been qualified to do that.
Yeah,
because he had to mark papers and.
Maybe he wasn't marking them. Maybe it was all part of the government sort of.
Okay.
Undercover. Well, I'm not sure why they would have him undercover though. There, at the school.
I don't know.
He could just be a student.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
And I'll ask, have you seen this episode?
No, I haven't seen this episode.
And did you go down any rabbit holes?
No, I got nothing on this, Eddie. As I said last week, without the musical guests, I got sort of nothing, catches my eye. So, no.
Okay. So, do you want to get into question time?
Yeah, let's get into question time.
Answer the question.
Okay, Jared, which character was your favourite in this episode?
I guess the correct answer is Spike.
Well, I went with Harmony, but I also was very happy to see Graham.
Oh,
Graham.
Okay, Graham.
Graham.
It's Graham.
Which character do you love to hate?
Is it Riley?
Yes, that is the correct answer. Riley is the correct answer for this episode. He is particularly annoying in this one.
It's kind of not his fault, though.
He's kind of clingy, though. He's kind of clingy and annoying.
Is that the thing where you go somewhere and your boyfriend shows up at the same place you're at, even though he wasn't supposed to be there?
Yeah.
That sort of.
Yeah.
I'm going out to, with some friends in the city, and he turns up there. And you're like, oh, how you going? Hi.
Yeah. Or you organise no, what was it? When you organise a girls' day and one of the girls brings her boyfriend along.
Well,
or the boyfriend just invites themselves.
Well, that's
along.
what invite. Well, it's the fact that he wasn't invited at all, but he turned up anyway. That's what Riley did.
Yeah.
So you're going out to a place with some friends at a pub, and he turns up at that pub. That's the awkwardness of like, oh, hey, honey.
All right.
Hi, honey. How are you?
Okay. LOL moment.
It's the dream sequence. Yeah. That really got me.
You absolutely pissed yourself laughing, actually. It's probably first you're like, ooh, and then you absolutely pissed yourself laughing when he jumped up out of bed.
It was a classic, he just kissed her and then she jumps back and looks at him with disgust and starts kissing him back. And then he wakes up and you're like, oh, God.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen you laugh that hard at Buffy before.
Red Dwarf did a funny one too. It was when Rimmer had left Red Dwarf, and everyone knows Red Dwarf, and he came back, and Lister and Rimmer are having a conversation. He's like, "Oh man, I missed you." Even though the whole series had hated each other.
They hate each other, yeah.
And Lister says to Rimmer, "I missed you, man. I really missed you." And he's like, "And I missed you too." And they just embrace and they start kissing. And then he does the waking up and like puking his tongue out, like, ah! What the hell does that mean?
Yeah. That's my favourite. It's my LOL moment from this episode as well. Favourite fight scene?
So the tag team fights with Riley versus Harmony and Buffy versus Spike in the operating room.
Okay. So I actually went with the one where she's crouched like a cat up on top of the mausoleum and she pretty much jumps down and stakes a vampire before I think it's a little unfair actually. Like before he's even out of the grave, she staked him. Yeah. And then there was a pretty cool fight scene then after that.
Okay, yeah, it was.
With some other vamps. Favourite scene?
Well, we said the LOL moment before, which is pretty funny, but I did like the Spike falling in the grave scene. Okay. It was the comical timing on that.
Yeah.
It was good. I saw it coming, but I still liked it.
Yeah. I think I loved Harmony and Spike and the doctor when he's trying to operate and she's annoying the crap out of the doctor. Like she's talking to him.
Smoking.
She's smoking in front of him. Like doing everything that you don't do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Least favourite scene, Jared?
I think Riley's little rant when he's in the cave.
Yeah, I've
punching
got that.
the wall.
I've got that too.
Is that the right answer?
Yeah, that's the correct answer. Riley in the cave, punching the wall. Going on about how Buffy won't love him when he's not souped up and because of Angel. Favourite quote?
Mine comes from Harmony. You know what it means that he can't hurt any living thing? It means he can't even pick flowers.
So that's what I've got as well.
Oh, really?
But I've got a backup one.
Okay. From
Buffy. And it's I'm starting to think this working hard is hard work.
Yeah.
I think I love...
Can you pick flowers?
Yeah, well, I love that Spike starts saying, I can too. Like he gets really defensive over it. And he's like, shut up, Harmony.
Has he tried that out? I'm just curious, would that make the chip kick in or not? Picking flowers? Mowing the grass?
I don't know. Well, I haven't seen him do any of those things.
No more gardening for him.
Yeah, no more gardening. No more gardening for Spike.
That's the end of Spike's landscaping business.
Yeah. Yes.
Spike's mowing.
All right. Who gets the wooden spoon?
Oh, I guess Riley's the right answer for that.
Yep, that is the correct answer. Yep. I think it's the ignoring medical advice
Over pride, yeah.
Over pride.
Terrible.
So that he can be strong. Keeping his strength will mean he will die.
Yeah.
Which just makes no sense.
Yeah.
And who's the MVP of this episode?
Buffy.
You know what? I went with the initiative doctor.
Oh, okay. Yes. Oh, yeah.
Because he didn't take the chip out. I remember being shocked by this. This actually surprised me that he didn't remove the chip.
Ah.
And it's an incredibly smart move that he makes.
Yeah. Well, he knew it. He'd just kill him straight away.
Yes.
If he did.
Yes. So he just did it to stall for time.
Mm.
It was a great way of, instead of removing it, pretend to remove it, and he would have, he knew that Buffy was going to be looking for him.
Yeah.
So he just stalled.
Mm.
Yeah. So that's why he's getting the.
Well, yeah.
And also, you're right. They were about to kill him.
Yeah.
When Buffy comes in, so he stalled for just the right amount of time.
Yeah. That was a good plan.
Yeah. And what do you rate the episode out of 10 using something from the show?
4 pennies.
I have the exact same.
Maybe I was copying. I was peeking.
I have the same rating.
Wow. Same rating and same thing from the show?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. 4 pennies.
4 pennies.
Oh.
4 pennies in a kidney dish.
Oh.
Though I had the kidney dish.
Yeah, the kidney dish part, yeah. I was too lazy for that. 4 pennies just written down for me.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
it.
So that's it. That's a wrap.
Yeah, I don't have too. It's going to be a short episode.
Yeah, I know. Look, it's got to be as long as it has to be. So there's no point just babbling about shit for ages, like what I'm doing right now.
Yes.
So I'm just going to hit the button, Eddie. Well, I hope you've enjoyed listening to us tonight. We are Nerd Subculture. My name is Jared.
And I'm Edwina.
And if you want to find us on the internet, you can find us on...
You can find us on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. There is a Facebook group, and you can email us at nerdsubculture@gmail.com. And if you want to help out the podcast, follow the link tree on the socials to the merch store.
Yeah, and be sure to like, share, subscribe, comment, all those things.
Yeah.
Do them all. All right, we'll take
all the things on the internet.
All the things on the internet. All right, till next time, take care. Bye.
Bye. Grr.
No, it's because I'm so in love with you.